Well, it's a very warm welcome back to the Banksy Stadium for a competitive fixture for the first time since March 2020. I said it before Saturday's season opener against Tranmere Rovers. We're just as excited as a club as you guys are as the supporters. We've got plenty coming up in today's pre-match show as I'm joined by my media colleague Paul Joannou as we look back to that season opener against Tranmere. We'll also hear from head coach Matt Taylor as to what he had to say after the game and looking forward into tonight's match against Donny. We also heard from defender Zach Mills and we got his thoughts as well. Well, Matt, it's opening day defeat here against Tranmere Rovers. Just get your overall thoughts on that 90 minutes.
We're disappointed we've lost the game. I think that when we look at the balance of play and the balance of chances, we've got in behind them 3 times in the second half and we haven't delivered correctly, we haven't made the right runs, but it's promising signs in terms of I thought Tyrese today was very good, very direct. At times I wanted him to be a little bit more so, but it's his first professional appearance and you know we are extremely disappointed we've lost the game, but the thing is that it's the first game of the season. There's 45 more league games, and when you look at it like that, of course we hope that we wouldn't have lost all 3 points today, and we hope that we'd come here and take something. But Tranmere finished 7th in the league last year. We've got a group of players who want and strive to get better. But I think when you look at the big moments in the game today, when we had them, we didn't take them. We had a great chance at the end there, and unfortunately, this just didn't drop for us. But that's football, and I've said it before. I think it's a game in both boxes, and ironically, they score a goal that I think we had enough chances to replicate.
And as with football, there's an opportunity around the corner again with Doncaster Rovers. You know, you'd be looking again to just try and get something positive out of that one.
What you want to do in football a lot of the time is try and build momentum. I think momentum comes from good performances. Momentum comes from scoring goals and winning games, and that's ultimately what we're going to try and do, because we've then got another tough home game against Forest Green in the league. But I must stress again, you know, there was only 3 points on offer today. We'd have dearly loved to take them back down the M6 with us, but it wasn't meant to be. So therefore the players now have got to be professional in their approach to the game on Tuesday. There'll be opportunities, I'm sure, for players to stake a claim for the weekend, because we've got a competitive squad, we've got a group that are together, and now it's our job as staff to make sure that when they leave here, yeah, they're disappointed, but they're not down. Because Monday morning when we report for training, I want everybody buoyant. We've got to have that. So yeah, I like the fact that at the moment they're hurting, but we've got another game, and that's a great thing about football. It's relentless. So now we've got another chance we've got another chance to play the game on Tuesday and digest what's happened here today.
Despite opening day defeat against Tranmere Rovers, there were plenty of positives to take from that. We spoke to defender Zach Mills after the game to get his thoughts, and he told us that he's looking to put things right in this evening's game against Doncaster. And you've already mentioned it earlier on, but football, you know, is that wonderful gift of, you know, you've got a game to put things right immediately on Tuesday against Doncaster Rovers. It's all about now just regrouping, looking at things again and going again on Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good thing about football. We've got 24 hours to dwell on it. We'll have the day off tomorrow. We'll look at it Monday morning, what we can do better, what we can work on. We'll put that behind us, and then as soon as the meeting's done, we'll look to the cup game Tuesday.
Well, we've just heard from head coach Matt Taylor and defender Zach Mills about the season opener against Tranmere. I'm now joined by my colleague Paul Joannou. Paul, thanks for joining me. What were your overall thoughts from Saturday's season opener at Prenton Park?
Well, I certainly think there is plenty of positives to take from the game at Prenton Park on Saturday. One thing I will like to mention is the fans first and foremost. 1,293 Saddlers fans at Prenton Park. The atmosphere is electric. You know, they sung loud, they sung proud. It was a brilliant atmosphere, and just great to have those bouncing away and back once again. But in terms of what happened on the pitch, I thought there was, you know, enough for the Saddlers to build on, plenty of encouragement. I thought Tyrese Shade, for example, he was looking very dangerous on the day. I think, as we heard Matt Taylor say, you know, he looked very direct and looked to make things happen. I thought the team looked quite well organised, and I thought there was, you you know, good structure to the side. So I'm sure the players will be looking to build on that and improve, and hopefully try and get a couple of goals tonight in the Carabao Cup tie.
And that's the beauty of football, you know, we go straight into another game just a couple of days later, this time against higher opposition. The side faced a couple of teams in divisions well above ours in pre-season. Do you reckon that will have, you know, put us in good stead building into this one?
I think so. I think players like to test themselves against the very best, like the Saddlers did against Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. So they would have certainly helped. I think the Cheltenham game as well was a good measure, similar opposition to tonight possibly. And the Saddlers, you know, didn't look massively out of place, albeit losing 2-0. So, you know, I spoke to some of the lads already. They're looking forward to the game tonight. You know, they're really looking forward to test themselves and trying to right the wrongs from Saturday. But I think the gap between League 1 and 2 isn't a massive yawning chasm, so you know the lads will be going into the game full of confidence.
You know, it is, that's the magic of the cup, isn't it? You know, Matt Taylor's already, you know, alluded to it to ourselves that he's really looking forward to it. He's popped it in his programme notes as well that, you know, whilst he's expecting Richie Wellens' team to be well drilled, you know, it could be a really entertaining game, couldn't it?
I think so. I think a Richie Wellens side, and by the way, Matt will know Richie Wellens very well because Richie managed him at Swindon Town, so Matt will know probably how Richie's going to maybe set up. I think they'll like to play football as well. Obviously Matt Taylor will want his players to express themselves as well, so it's got all the ingredients of an exciting game of football which hopefully sees a lot of goals, which we all want.
And it's a competitive fixture back here at the Banksy Stadium with fans in. That's the most important thing, and that's something that I know we've discussed plenty of times, that's something that we're looking forward to as well as the supporters.
Absolutely. It was, you and I were at the games last year, it just wasn't the same without the fans. It felt like we were watching a different kind of football, really. It just felt like a totally different event. But to have the fans back, that first game against Crystal Palace, even with a reduced crowd, was, you know, so brilliant to have. And then to have a full crowd against Aston Villa, the atmosphere was electric. So I'm sure the home serve end will be bouncing tonight, you know, the first competitive game back, and they'll be cheering the boys on. And as Matt Taylor said plenty of times, the players really do feed off the energy of the crowd.
Well, thank you very much, Paul, and you know, it's another game that we're really looking forward to, and as we've said already, we can't wait to have you back here in the stadium for tonight's fixture, and come on you Saddlers.